Baby, at this point, throw the whole Expo away, but let's keep Tisha in them jeans. Is y'all ready to talk about it? Cue the music! Oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back.
I'll drop a player like it's nothing, it ain't working out. Now no debate or for discussion, bitch, I'm walking out. My time is money, I ain't loving, let you toast it out. Flip my weave and walk it out, look how I just bossed it out. Now come on baby, why you bugging, we can't talk it out. I keeps it moving, I ain't tripping, lost another spouse. I'm just a boss, it's in my blood, no I won't scream or shout. Grabbing my keys.
Cause oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back. Back with another video, and we here to discuss Love and Marriage Huntsville season 38, episode 14. Girl, I forgot the season, but listen, I think it's 6. Listen, girl, I'm back in the stew. Y'all know I haven't been in the stew. I'm back in the stew. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking a little rough. Sorry, y'all. You know, I just got off of work, and I ain't feel like all that editing, you know, with all that other stuff. So I said, I'm going to just come. The girls just going to get me how the girls going to get me. So it is what it is. Don't judge me, judge your mom. Anyway, I'm back in the stew, girl, and we here to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, and Tisha in them jeans. Let me tell you something. Tisha in those jeans were the highlight of this entire episode. We didn't need to see nothing else but Tisha in them jeans. Y'all can say y'all don't like Tisha. Y'all can say Tisha is this, that, and the third, but what you cannot say is Tisha ain't bad. And I hate to feel like I'm objectifying her. I kind of feel like a man. Like how, you know how men be doing women? That's how I kind of feel. But that ain't this. And this ain't that. Or maybe it is. I hope not. Nevertheless, the fine. Okay? Everybody was looking. And even me. Okay? Let's get into the episode. So the episode opens up, girl. Enough of Tisha. Kaya feel like she's not responsible for Kimmy being labeled a side chick. Because like Kaya will say, girl, I don't be on no social media. I don't put out no narrative, girl. I don't even say nothing. But in Kimmy's warped mind, she feels that Kaya is showing a lack of integrity because Kaya basically didn't come out and say that they weren't dating while they were married. Kimmy, why? Why do you feel like it is Kaya's responsibility to clear your name? Why is it Kaya's responsibility to come out and say you're not a side chick? Why do you care if people think you're a side chick? Why are you sitting across the table from this girl holding her accountable for the things you should be holding your husband accountable for? Why are you sitting across the table from this girl like she didn't say umpteen times that she never said you was a side chick, but she did say y'all was dating while they were still married? I'm confused. I'm confused. And Kimmy, for you to turn around and be like, you saying that we dated before y'all divorced makes it seem like I was a side chick. You may not have felt like you was a side chick. But who knows what her and Maurice was going through. In her mind, maybe you were a side chick. And, you know, Kaya ends up giving her an apology that I wouldn't have given her. It was like a half-ass apology, but I wouldn't have validated Kimmy in that way. Not to be mean or negative, but it's not my job to do that, Fat. You got to first do that for yourself, and then you got to get your husband to do that. That ain't my job, especially if I don't run my mouth. Now, if Kaya was the type of person be around here running her mouth with everybody, I would understand Kimmy feeling like, okay, you need to clear that up because you said X, Y, and Z. But Kaya would just stated the fact. You were dating him before we were married. I mean, divorced, I'm sorry. What's up? I'm confused. I just think that Kimmy knows where her anger should go. She's a very intelligent woman. She knows that the accountability she's putting on Kaya needs to go to Maurice. But she also knows her place. And she knows that it's not going to go over well going to Maurice about it. So whether she do have Maurice convince her that it's a Kaya issue, and then she goes over there and check Kaya. I hate it for Kimmy. I hate it for black women. And I feel like at some point we got to start holding each other accountable. And Kimmy, this is me holding you accountable. Y'all, look, I'm not above reproach. If I ever get out of line, hold me accountable. But right now we talking about Kimmy. Kimmy, you're wrong. Kaya don't owe you nothing. If anything, maybe in Kaya's perspective, you owe her. Who knows? But you sitting across the table from this lady talking about she owe you something. That shit, like, it really, like, messed with me a little bit. Because I'm just like, that's kind of like gaslighting. Like, peeing in my head and telling me it's shampoo. You know what I mean? Like, girl, bye, but Kaya better than me. But she said, you know, I never said you was a side chick. I guess that was Kaya's form of apologizing. And Kimmy said she'll take that for now. You know, it's kind of like that, I'm sorry if I offended you type of apology. She don't owe you that, Kimmy. She don't owe you that. She don't owe you that. And if you have an insecurity about you being a side chick, then say that and then deal with that in therapy. But that lady don't owe you that. She didn't go around bashing you or trashing your name across social media. The people saw what the facts were and made their own conclusions. So have I. You was a side chick. Now you did all of that and we still think you was a side chick. Love you to death, but we still think you was a side chick. Let's move on. Stormy go meet up with Mel because she want to see what's been going on since Mel blocked her and expected Stormy to find her on social media and DM her and figure out that she was gone and missing. Girl, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. These scenes with Mel be exhausting. They be exhausting because you can tell she really don't want to be there. You can tell it's like you gotta go to film so you can get the check. And you could tell that without the show, she wouldn't be dealing with Stormy or any of these other girls. But she has to because of the show. And it shows all in her mannerism and everything. I'm not saying Mel's obligated to go film with nobody. I'm not saying that because you know the Melanitas, whatever y'all is, y'all get to acting a fool. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it comes across cringe when you can tell somebody doesn't want to be a part of something. But anyway, Mel said she agreed to come over there and talk to her because she said she want to have effective communication with Stormy. Now, they sit down and Stormy basically says that Mel likes to avoid the hard conversations. She'll find a reason to either shut it down or she'll walk away because she don't want to avoid the hard conversations. Now, Mel turns around and was like, girl, you was a liar because if I really avoided hard conversations, I wouldn't be here. You didn't think I know this was going to be a hard conversation? So, all right, now that we got that over with, she asked Mel how she feel about her mama, you know, Mother Evil, the wicked witch of the South. We gonna call her that since they down there in Alabama. But the wicked witch of the South. She said, how do you feel knowing that my mom don't like you? And Mel wanted to know, well, you know, I seen her online cutting up and acting a damn fool. But what I wanted to know more than anything is, did you know your mama had a problem with me before we hooked up and started being cool? Now see, I know reality shows have these girls coming on as if they were already friends with these people. Because remember, Mel brought Stormy on. Remember, Mel used Stormy House to do her video shoot. Remember, Mel brought that girl on and made it seem to us, which I should have known better, as if they had a relationship prior to the show. But what we find out today is Mel really didn't have that no prior friendship, with her. Mel didn't even know this girl. Mel just basically brought her on through Carlos or whatever. And, you know, Stormy goes into this diatribe saying, well, you know, my mama, she's her own person. She does what she wants. She had a problem with my husband when she met him. She had a problem with her sister. She had a problem. I said it's giving Mama Joyce without having problems with the sister. It's giving Mama Joyce. That's what it's giving. But she basically is up there on her candy saying that she can't do nothing about her mom. And Mel is like me, girl. You said all that to say nothing. Did you answer my question? Did you know your mama had an issue with me? Girl, I don't care about none of that. So, you know, Stormy was like, well, you know, she had, you know, TV opinions about you, but that's as far as it should have went because, you know, she only knew you from TV. She didn't know you personally. And I don't share those same, you know, feelings about you or whatever. And then, you know, Mel kind of felt like, look, I'm not going through this drama. I just came off the shit with Tisha and goddamn Miss Wanda. I don't want to be around that. Mel has every absolute right to say that, and I understand why she would say that. I don't want to be around it. Let's talk about it. I don't want to be around it. So I understand Mel sitting up there saying, look, girl, I don't have the energy for that. I will cut anybody off, not just you. Anybody off who can't control their mom, basically, is what she said. But Stormy basically said that in her confessional that Mel be gaslighting people like they don't know what they be experiencing. And basically, she's very passively, aggressively dealing with issues. She's right. How do I say Mel gaslight people? I say Mel gaslight people because Mel ghosted Stormy and didn't say nothing to Stormy. And then when Stormy asked her about it months later, she was like, oh, well, you know, I be taking breaks. And Stormy was like, yeah, but you didn't tell me. And she was like, yeah, but you know I do it. And she was like, well, how was I supposed to know this was a break? And she was like, because I told you I'd be doing it. And then Stormy was like, well, you couldn't hit me up? And then Mel flipped it and was like, you could have hit me in the DMs. You see what I'm saying? That's the gaslighting part, and I'm giving y'all proof of why I feel that way I feel. And passive aggressive means like she can go into these meetings with the comeback group that I don't really care about, but she can go into these meetings with these people, even in these one-on-ones, and act like ain't no issue, and it's definitely an issue. But she does it very passive aggressively. I said what I said. But Stormy said they could be cordial, and Mel said they could be cool. Let's move on. Tisha and the crew go see the venue. That's the place behind me. Girl, when I tell you, let me tell you something. First of all, you can tell when it's real. Let that sizzle and sink, okay? You can tell when it's real. Tisha is a bad biatch. And you know, for the life of me, when I saw how fine she was, and then I saw Marceau walk through that door with his man boobs and his dad bod, I said, he don't deserve her. I did. She's smart, she's fine, she's a little slow, but she's smart and she's fine. Tisha, girl, if he ever was to mess up on you, do you know the amount of revenge cheating I would be doing? Because I'm pretty sure, girl, down there in the Huntsville streets, girl, that is baked yams behind you, girl. And she fully, girl, look, Tisha, this wasn't even about that. I just had to bring this up. But anyway, she bring them looking around the venue. We find out Mel said she ain't coming. She said she don't feel like she should be obligated to participate. Why go to the doggone meeting? And then you didn't even leave the meeting saying, I for sure don't want to do it. You said, let me think about it. Then you wait till last minute and say, you don't want to be a part. That's what I be talking about. Nobody's saying that, nobody's infringing upon Mel's right to do what Mel want to do. That's not what we saying. And I hate when people give critique or criticism on y'all's fave and then y'all flip it like somebody just hating or trying to tell them or police them. That's not the case. If you didn't want no parts of it, when you were at that meeting, I felt like Mel knew that. But let's just say you left the meeting and you pondered on it or whatever the case. I feel like the moment you came to the conclusion you don't want no parts of it, you should have hit that girl up and been like, I'm good. But you don't do that because you do exactly the opposite of what you say. Because you say, I don't want y'all to make it about me. Yet you dropping out at the last minute. Mel, that's the stuff I be trying to call Mel out on. And because I'm not a fan of nobody, I can call everybody out. So with that being said, Mel, you're down bad for that. And you know you didn't want to be with it. If the way it sounds to me and look to me, you didn't want to be a part of it at the doggone meeting. You was just there to film to get your check. Let's talk about it, okay? Anyway, so they gonna replace her with Stormy and Courtney. Now they gonna walk around the venue and Marceau had to tap Martell because Martell was looking at Tisha's ass. We are all looking at Tisha's ass. Girl, what is you saying? Marceau, come on now. You got to be stronger than that. We are all looking at Tisha's ass. Hell, even Stormy had to say, you know, she looking at Tisha's ass. Every time she see Tisha, she be like, that girl finding it or you know what. Stop acting crazy, Marceau. Didn't Martell tell you Tisha body look better than yours? Tisha, girl, I don't know what you did. You must be hitting a squat. No, I don't. You been fine, though. I ain't gonna lie. Maybe it's that, girl, I don't know, Tisha. Whatever you did, you know, y'all know I ain't even gonna say that. But shout out to Tisha. I'm gonna leave it alone. Anyway, let's move on. Monster and Maurice go play basketball. So Maurice took out 30 minutes of his day to go down there to the recreational center to get to know his child after he been living with her for damn near 4-5 years. Girl. Anyway, they go down there and play basketball. Monster set his ass up as he should. And they get to talking. And Maurice basically tells Monster, look, bro, you gonna have to, you know, get it together. Can you tell me more about you? I'm trying to get to know you. Like, what's going on? Hell, Monster said, I'm trying to get to know me. How I'm gonna tell you about me when I don't know me? Which is every teenager. I think Maurice got into the confessional and was like, it's so hard communicating with a teenager. When I tell you, I felt that in him, all up and through here when he said that. Have y'all tried communicating? If you have teenage children, or if you have had teenage children, or if you just deal and be around teenagers, have y'all ever tried to have a conversation with them? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to be talking and they just going to be looking. It's all of them. I don't know if it's the age of video games, you know, because these children didn't go out to play. They didn't go outside. And I can't even blame it on that because my baby used to go outside to play. But she still act the same way. Girl, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. These children don't talk, girl. They like mutes. You know what I'm saying? Now, amongst each other, they rah, rah, rah. But when it comes to talking to an adult, girl, they like mutes. At least the respectful ones are. So, I guess. But anyway, Monster said he can't tell him about himself because he don't know himself yet. It takes a little time. He's still trying to figure out who he is or whatever. But Maurice wants Monster to open up and be like, hey, bro, if I tell you to do something and you feel like it ain't working for you, just say so. Just say so, I'm sorry. Just say that and then we can move on. Like, and we can figure out another way forward. And, you know, Monster didn't know that he could say nothing like that. Monster said, well, you know, normally I be thinking that, but I ain't never said it. But now that you gave me permission, that's what we gonna do or whatever. That's what I'm gonna do. And so Maurice was here for it. But then Maurice turned around and was like, you know, you got to make sure you clean up around that house or whatever the case may be. And Monster said, I know it's a given. And Maurice was like, when did this become a given? He said, when y'all started taking my phone. That'll do it. Sound about right. Anyway, let's move on. Courtney go to see his mama. I forgot her name, but shout out to Mama Courtney. You know, at first I was dragging Courtney. I ain't gonna lie, I drug him. I did. I dragged him because I felt like he was being selfish. I felt like he was just being mean. But after sitting down having a conversation with his mama, I understand where he's coming from. So anyway, Courtney go see his mama, and he get to telling her that Courtney want another baby, but he said he ain't trying to do it. So he be pushing her away when she be talking about it. His reasoning for that is he want to break the curse. He want to keep his family super small, super close-knit, so that he won't have to worry about, in case of him and Stormy splitting, he's not absent or present, he's not present for his son. So he's afraid of having multiple kids because he don't want his children to be raised the way he was by a single mom. Now, the mama was like, I understand your feeling because, it was hard. Like, it was times I had to choose between medicine and doggone bus fare or gas money or whatever. And I felt that because I know when I left my baby daddy / husband, ex-husband, girl, I can remember I was making barely enough to keep afloat. And my baby also played AAU basketball that I paid for. That's a whole other story. We'll talk about it, girl. But I was paying for, and I ain't gonna lie, it was times that I was making sure she did basketball stuff and all this other things. I had choices. It was choices sometimes between being late on the light bill or making sure she can go on this trip somewhere else. And listen, it was an investment to me. It paid off because my whole goal was for my daughter to get a full free ride, a full free scholarship to college. And she absolutely has a 4-year free ride to college. She don't pay for nothing. They even put money in her pocket. So it was an investment then. It was a scary one, but it was one that I believed in my child. So I understand the sentiment of having to make decisions and tough decisions at that. But anyway, she said it's hard, but it works. He just don't want to go through getting divorced, and I already said that. But the mama said she know how he feel to grow up without a dad, and ask him if the reason he don't want to have more kids is because he didn't have a daddy. And he said, yeah, he said basically he always wondered why his teammates had their daddy there and he never had a daddy. He said his daddy missed out on so much, and he got to crying, and he said, everything he needed to learn, he had to teach himself, because a woman cannot raise a son. I be saying this, if them children won't go by their daddy, them boys especially, when they about 13, 12, about 11, 10, drop them off by their daddy. Do you hear me? That's not nothing to do with this. But I'm just saying, because they do need their daddies. But, it made Courtney cry because he felt like, his daddy wasn't there. He missed out on a lot. But the mama said you did say when you, got married that you was going to be a better father to your baby than your daddy was to you. And she said she could see him doing that. And I say shout out to Tess for that. But the mama said you need to consider that girl feelings. I understand how you feel, but you need to consider her feelings. And she said if I had to change anything in my past, the only thing I would change is I wouldn't have my kids so far apart. Because when kids are close in age, they form a bond. Prime example, my family. My sister and my brother, all 4 of us are literally like a year and a half apart in between each. My sister the oldest, my brother, me, and then my other brother. Now, we got a baby brother up under us. I don't know what my mama was on, but somehow she went down there and got pregnant when we didn't even know she was doing the do. You know what I'm saying? But that was later on down the line. We were damn near in middle school. And we was like, you what? Pregnant? You know what I'm saying? I can remember my sister asking my mama, how you get pregnant? And I'm sitting here going, I'm younger than her, saying, girl, what you mean? Duh. But listen, I didn't watch cartoons. I didn't do nothing childlike. I was grown at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I was rushing to be grown. I wish somebody would have popped me upside the back of my head because I want to go back to being a child. This grown stuff is the ghetto, okay? But that's not what I was saying. The baby brother who's younger than us, who's much younger than us, he does not have the bond that me and my other siblings have because we're all literally a year apart. We literally went through and did every single thing together. So I totally understand Courtney's mom. First of all, he looked just like his mama. She has a very nice house. I like them little pieces she had back there. Shout out to Mama Courtney. And she seems like a nice woman. Let's move on. Now, it's the day of the Expo. Stormy and her mama there, but Stormy said she bit off more than she could chew because Courtney's down there at the warehouse because they got to put out this large shipment, and she said if they don't make a shipment, then they get fined. Y'all remember when I don't know if y'all watched, but I reviewed it before. Brad and Judy, when Judy was freaking out about a shipment coming in and going out, and she was talking about how like complex it is when you shipping stuff in and out, and she was just like, you know, they will like fine you or make you accountable for whatever it is. So I understand Stormy's last minute, you know, frustrations, and Stormy said she really want to go there and be at the warehouse with her husband, but the mama said, girl, let him be a man, girl, he got it. I've already babied him, let him be a man. So Stormy was like, well, all right, girl. She was like, I guess I'll do that or whatever. So now Tisha's in there looking at the venue, and whoever her manager is need to be fired. Do you hear me? Fired. Not with an R, just with an I-E-D. Fired. Because you didn't do your job. We gonna get there though. But the lady tells her that they had a lot of people wanted to be a part of it, and she stopped it at 25. I guess 25 vendors are going to be able to come in. And Tisha was like, I would rather, you know, us just have an influx of people and we say no next year versus stopping it. So that number one reason why your ass should be fired. Number two. So Tisha before that, before I get to number two, I'm sorry. So Courtney got a whole corner set up over there. Courtney talking about putting a living room set, dining room set, kitchenette. She wanted them to put a Motel 6 hotel room for her doggone setup. It was beautiful, but I said, girl, did you get approval or clearance on all of this? But nevertheless, Tisha go over there and see her set up in the corner and was like, girl, damn, you taking up about 3-4 spaces. What is you doing? That could have been more people down here. Like, what's going on? And I'm feeling Tisha because it's just like, but then again, Tisha, y'all were not organized. Your manager need to be fired. Reason number 2. But y'all were not organized. So let Stormy build a damn house in the doggone Expo. Let it happen. It is what it is. So anyway, she tells her that it's going to be 25 vendors there. So basically trying to stay on the low that they're going to need the space, but she ain't tell them. And why do I keep saying Courtney? Tisha ain't here for it. She don't give a damn. So anyway, Marcel show up acting like Donald Trump on, what's that show he had with Nene Leakes and all of them? Basically acting like he the boss. So, but he did have reason number 3 why Tisha's manager should be fired, because he asked Tisha's manager, well, first he asked Tisha, he said, how much you spend on all these damn balloons? She said $325. He said, that's money we didn't need to spend. Marceau, go lay down. We trying to have decor. We trying to have the girls thinking this is a classy event. You lucky she didn't order flowers and have it draped around there. Let her do her. This is not your department. Anyway, so then he looked at the girls and basically said that not the girl, the manager girl, and asked her like, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do that? Oh no, I ain't do it. Well, you think you should call him? Yeah, I'ma call him. Well, you think you should call him right now? Oh yeah, let me call him. Reason number, what we was on, 3 or 4? Let me just say 4. Reason number 4 why your manager should be fired. Is that one of your cousins and you was trying to get her, you know, a little gig so she can pay, you know, pay for something or whatever? Maybe her baby daddy didn't come through with the child support, so you just filling her in on the back end so she can make the extra coins. Is that what's going on? Because she was horrible. She was horrible. But Tisha tells him he was going in hard on that girl. She was like, you did too much. You came here on 10, putting 20 on 10. Marceau feels like he wasn't. Marceau feels like he's just doing his job. He said it's a lot of stuff that they need to get done. And that I agree with. But the problem is, Marceau, this is a volunteer event. Who you paying? You ain't paying nobody to be coming through acting like no goddamn drill sergeant. Marceau, go lay down. So now he see Stormy in the corner and asked Tisha, did Stormy pay her $100 boot fee or rental fee? And Tisha said, no, because nobody's paying a rental fee. We ain't never tell nobody in the comeback group, I'm sorry, that we were going to pay rental fees, or they had to pay rental fees. And Marceau was like, well, I thought that was something we discussed. And she said, well, we didn't. And then he asked about, what about so-and-so? Or she asked, what about so-and-so? And he said, they damn near sponsored this whole damn thing, so they didn't need to pay their boot fee. But Stormy needs to pay hers. So he wants her to go over there and confront Stormy about paying her damn boot rental fee. Like she gonna be doing hair or something in the corner. And Tisha said, I'm not doing that. No ma'am, no ham, no turkey, no spam. I'm not doing that. So Marceau feels like he's gonna take it upon himself to be Joe Jackson and go over there and ask Stormy about this doggone $100. Now see, this is very unprofessional, Marceau. And this is why people don't want to be in the comeback or the group. You hear me? Because y'all want to be something y'all not. Listen, they say y'all running black down to the ground. That's what they said. Not me. That's what they said. You cannot come at nobody last minute behind no money. And if I'm doggone Stormy, I'd have cussed your ass out and told you, what you gonna do, put me out? What you gonna do? Beat me? Pistol whip me? You know what I mean? Like, come on now. This is getting out of hand. But anyway, so he goes to confront Stormy about the $100, and Stormy was like, what $100? Oh yeah, they had a $100 boot rental fee. Well, ain't nobody tell me that. Well, it was already said, so you got your money? Stormy was like, first of all, this is very low vibrational, number one. And number two, it's very unprofessional. Don't come at me on the day of the event talking about I owe you $100. $100 ain't nothing. And Maurice was like, not Maurice, Marcel was like, well, bet, if it ain't nothing, run me my coins. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the chips. Let's get the chips chipping. You know what I mean? But she felt some type of way because she was like, no. And then you confront me the way you confront me? No. Hell no. So he calls Tisha over there, and Tisha acting like she don't know what's going on. Tisha, girl, don't do that. But anyway, he called Tisha over there and tell her Stormy is over here being weird. And Stormy goes to her and said, let me tell you about your husband. Your husband is being very unprofessional coming over here asking me about some money on the day of the doggone event. Number one. Number two, this is very low vibrational. It is. And ever since that girl at that barbecue with that plate of unhealthy food started saying low vibrational, the girls have been using that word and it's just not given. But nevertheless, Marcel feels like she's being low vibrational because she's being passive aggressive or whatever. She's acting like she's not being nasty. She's being nice nasty is what he's saying. And Stormy said, I just don't understand why y'all gonna ask me this last minute. But Stormy get in her confessional and said it is very unprofessional and she will never do business with Letitia and Marcel Scott again. And I said, sound about right. That was it. I ain't got a lot of talking, y'all. That was it. What y'all think? Drop down in the comments and let me know. I'm trying to get back in the studio a little more often, get up on this camera, girl, but it be a lot going on. Nevertheless, I'm gonna get y'all DC next at some point, girl. I don't know if my head got time for that right now. We'll figure it out. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all think. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on TikTok. I don't really be posting on my Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. I be on Twitter sometimes. I'm starting to get more active on Twitter. Follow me, girl. That's all I'm asking. Share the video. Say something in the comments. You know the same rigmarole. And I will see you all later. Bye.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.